Hey guys, we're back for a new season of My Blue Thoughts, starring me, Peter Sers. This is our first episode of the season, and after the first week of the season, the Dodgers are 4-3. Not great, not bad, but not great. Slightly above average, and for the money that we're putting into the ball club, we do not want a slightly above average ball club. That being said, anytime you have a winning record on the road, that's a success because last year we barely did that. So that's good, all things aside. But you can't lose 3 out of 4 games against the fucking Giants. The Giants! If there's any team that we can't lose 3 out of 4 games against, it's the Giants. Why? Because we hate the Giants. 2, because they're the team that's going to be battling with us all season long for the National League West. Do we want a wild card? No, we don't want a wild card. We want to win the West. Wild cards are for teams like Minnesota and Pittsburgh and teams that don't have winning traditions that much, okay? That being said, let's talk about what we learned this week. Thing we learned, number one, before the season even started, is that everyone's breaking down on the team. You got Carl Crawford, who ended up getting hurt last week. You got Grandal, who got hurt. Kendrick, that got hurt. You got Ryu, who's still hurt. McCarthy, who's still hurt. I mean, part of this is the Dodgers signing players that are a little bit older, veterans and so forth. A second part, I gotta think, what the hell is going on with the training staff that all these guys are getting hurt? You want to talk about last year, everyone wanted to fire Don Mattingly and fire so-and-so. How about fire the training staff that keeps getting our players hurt, that's not doing their job? I mean, injuries are part of the game. I understand that. Anybody who follows baseball, in a 162-game season, you're going to need more than 25 players. You're going to need a collective team that's going to take a lot of guys from the minors, trades, and so forth that happened during the season. But we started the season with 10 guys in the DL, make it 11 now with Crawford. Van Slyke's going to be out for a couple days because he's got a sore back. So something this training staff is doing is not good. I know we have a few guys that are veterans that are a little bit older, but we can't have this many guys in the DL because part of what our strength is as a ball club this year, so we've been led to believe, and I've seen it, is the depth. The Dodgers do have a lot of depth. They have a lot of guys that can step up and play multiple positions, like a Kike Hernandez, like a Charlie Culberson, like a Van Slyke who can play multiple positions, like Trayce Thompson that can play all the positions in the outfield. Justin Turner can mix and match, even though he's primarily third base. Chase Utley has been signed under the impression that he's going to be used at third base and first base, and that's what they were doing in spring training. Same thing with Howie Kendrick. He was used at third base quite a bit during spring training. So they're mixing and matching the versatility, but we have too many guys on the DL. We're not going to be able to win the National League West, let alone the pennant, let alone a World Series with this many guys getting hurt all the time. So let's talk about what else we learned this week. We learned that the Padres are a really shitty team. The Dodgers beat the hell out of the Padres, scoring 15 runs, 3 runs, 6 runs. We beat the Padres very well. They didn't score any runs. And then we go into San Francisco. And like I said, we dropped 3 games out of 4. I'm pretty upset about it because there was 2 games that the Dodgers should have won. You can't go on woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I can tell you this. Alex Wood was given a 4-run lead on Thursday, and what does he do? Gives the lead right back. If you're a starting pitcher, hey, Alex Wood, I'm talking to you, and Scott Kazmir, we haven't gotten to you yet, buddy. If your team gives you a 4-0 lead, a 5-0 lead, you go back in the game and you close the door on the team that you're pitching. You don't just let them get back in. You don't give up 2-run home runs and 3-run home runs to tie the game. If Clayton Kershaw pitched his heart out on Saturday, going head-to-head against Madison Bumgarner, 8 innings, what do you think Clayton Kershaw would have done with a 4-run lead or a 5-run lead? He would have shut the damn door. That's what he would have done. But that's the difference between a Clayton Kershaw and a Scott Kazmir or an Alex Wood. Alex Wood, you did the same thing last year, man. You can pitch a good, solid 3, 4, maybe even 5 innings. Not on Thursday. That's why you were considered long men out of the pen coming into this season. If you remember, the Dodgers thought they had their rotation lined up with Kershaw and Kazmir and Brett Anderson and Ryu and Maeda. But then Anderson went down, and then the other number 5 starter went down. So now Alex Wood is brought up and Ryu wasn't going to be ready after all. So then Alex Wood now, instead of who wasn't even a 5th starter, now becomes our 4th starter. There's a reason why you weren't initially considered to be part of the starting 5. It's because you can't pitch like a starting pitcher. You give us a good 3-4 innings, you're a long man, okay? If Alex Wood doesn't step it up in his next start, they better bring in one of these guys from the minor leagues, like Ross Stripling, who stepped up on Friday and almost threw a no-hitter. He threw 7 1/3 scoreless innings before he had to get pulled out of the game. It was a very tough call for Dave Roberts to make, to pull out a rookie pitcher in a no-hitter situation, but at the same time, we're trying to win ball games. We can't go in individual statistics. You can't just let a rookie who's coming off a Tommy John surgery go in the game and continue to pitch and just hope that he can figure it out and then rip his arm off. Like that, it's as a fan, as a casual fan, you look and say, "Oh, he was throwing a no-hitter. He should have left him in." Rah. Yeah, but if he tears his arm, then what? This poor kid's career is ruined. It's tough enough to come back from one Tommy John surgery. Very few people have come back from 2 Tommy John surgeries. I could think of Hong-Chi Kuo that maybe came back from 2 Tommy John surgeries. Oh yeah, he's nowhere to be found because you can't really do it for that long. Point being, Dave Roberts made a very tough decision. He made the correct decision in taking out Ross Stripling. But hats off to Ross Stripling for coming in and just nailing it on his first try. We'll see how he does this week, but I mean, like I said, hats off to Ross Stripling. I like some of the young arms that are coming up through the Dodgers farm system. Look out for next Julio Urias. We all know about him. He'll be up at some point. Jose De Leon, who throws gas. He's hurt right now, but he's going to come back very soon and be a force to be reckoned with on the Dodgers before the season's over. And Cotton, look for Cotton. He's going to be so good. So we're okay with I know they don't want to rush the rookies into the fire. You know, they want to get them a little bit more seasoning, as they call it. But if guys like Alex Wood and Scott Kazmir can't hold leads down, then we got to bring up these guys, because the Giants and the Dodgers, I don't think the gap in talent is as big as it was last year between the Dodgers and the Giants. The Giants have caught up. I still think the Dodgers have more talent and more depth, but at the moment, they're kind of here, and you saw what happened. 3 out of 4 games they dropped. Not good. Why did they drop 3 out of 4 games? Other than the fact that Alex Wood and Scott Kazmir couldn't hold on to a big lead, timely hitting was a little absent this week against the Giants, which I don't like. They scored 6 runs on Thursday, so you think, oh, that's great. And they scored 6 runs on Sunday, and you think, oh, that's great. But in the games they lost, there was a couple games where they had a runner on second with no outs. Against the Padres, if you remember, opening day, runner on first and second, no outs. Justin Turner poked a ground ball to the right side. Not a sacrifice, but he advanced the runners, and then Gonzalez came up and hit a fly ball. That's situational hitting. For those of you guys who don't know what situational hitting is, that means if you have runners on base with 2 outs, you score them. That means if you have runners on base in scoring position with less than 1 out or 1 out, you advance them and let the next guy come in and bring them in, so that you're not wasting leadoff doubles time and time again. If you get a leadoff double, the next guy needs to move that guy to third. The next guy needs to bring that run across to score. I don't care who you are. That's what needs to be done. If you got everybody batting 1,000 with a runner on second base with less than 1 out, then yeah, go ahead. But that's not the case. Nobody bats 1,000 in any situation in the major leagues. If they would have executed just a little bit better, those leads that Alex Wood and Scott Kazmir blew wouldn't have been as big of a deal, because they would have been scoring more runs. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You can't play like that. I would like to see more situational hitting on the Dodgers' part against good teams. That being said, we're 4-3. We started on the road, so I guess that's okay. I'm not content. I want to be better than that, because they should have been 5-2, 6-1 even. So now we have a week against the Diamondbacks. We're opening up at home tomorrow against the Diamondbacks, and then we bring the Giants in again. That's going to be a big series. Clayton and Mad Bum on Friday. I'm going to be out of town, so I'm going to be able to catch 1 game, but I encourage Dodger fans, come to the park, be loud like we were at the end of last season. Be loud, be safe. Don't be a fool out in the stands and get into a fight with anybody. Let's show everyone in Major League Baseball that Dodger fans are the best fans. Let's have a week where we go 5-1, maybe 4-2 would be okay, but I would like to go 5-1, make up for the games that we blew in San Francisco. We'll see how it goes. If you guys have questions, send them to me. Send them to my Twitter @PeterSurs, or email me at mybluethoughts@yahoo.com. I'll put it up there. Maybe I won't. I don't know. If you guys really have questions, just send them to me on Twitter. Follow me @PeterSurs. This has been My Blue Thoughts. I'll see you guys next week. Go Dodgers.